Browns getting ready for the Arizona Cardinals Sunday, 1 o'clock over at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Lance, you look at the Cardinals, 1-7. It's still an NFL team with some really good players. Let's take a look at some of the offensive keys for the Browns and take us through this first clip, what you see here and what is important in it.
Well, for the Browns, obviously they got to block two players. There's two key guys, Budda Baker and Kyzir White. Kyzir White's the middle linebacker. He's very good. He's a thumper. He's 6'2". He's 235 range. Leads the team in tackles. One of the leading tacklers in the NFL. Budda Baker, who's one of their safety, he's a perennial All-Pro. Now, he's not having a great year, but he's still an All-Pro talent who is very good. So you're going to see Budda Baker right here. He's going to get down in the box. He has a lot of similarities to Delpit, so he's on the yellow line. He comes up here in C-gap, and he makes a tackle on the run. Those two guys need to be blocked in the run game. And let's be honest, the defensive line for the Cardinals is not fantastic. And if you can get these White blocked and Budda Baker blocked in the secondary, you have a chance to get some big runs. And again, protect that quarterback. If it's Walker, and allow him to get that run game, and allow that run game to be his best friend. So, got to get those two guys blocked. White, the middle backer, and Budda Baker, that strong safety who's all over the field.
Yeah, and again, the run game will be important. Even if it's Deshaun Watson, you're going to want to lean on the run and let him get kind of accustomed, let his arm kind of let him get under himself and get used to throwing the football again. All right, take us through this next clip and what you see here as an opportunity.
So really like their linebackers. So like I said, Kyzir White, he's a thumper, he's a good tackler. Josh Woods is another big guy, thick guy. One thing they don't do, though, they don't cover very well. So I think Njoku, Andrews last week had 4 for 40 and a touchdown. I think Njoku can have a big week. Also, their secondary guys, Antonio, their corners, Hamilton and Wilson. They don't play the ball very well in the air, so I think you can take some shots with Cooper down the field that are safe in terms of just throwing it deep. They don't play the ball very well in the air. But underneath, I think Njoku, safe throws, option routes, he can be very successful against White and Woods. These guys are thick guys who don't cover as well in space. They're more tackle-to-tackle thumper type guys. So I think the Browns can have some success with their tight ends in the middle of the field.
And again, Njoku was a weapon against the Seahawks. The screens have been working, so those are all things that kind of make a lot of sense. Yeah, you mentioned it. So the Browns appear to have an advantage up front. Take us through this next clip and what you're thinking here.
So both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line, where games are won at any level. You win and lose with your offensive, defensive lines. The Browns' offensive line is better than the front seven of the Cardinals, and the Browns have faced some brutal front sevens that they've had some success with. So, they have to not be afraid here on 3rd and 8 to run the football. You're going to see the Cardinals here. The Cardinals do some exotic things on 3rd down. It really doesn't matter what 3rd down, but anything 3rd and medium, 5 and plus. So they actually don't have anybody in a stance here on the defensive line, and I'm not a big believer in that. I think you need to get guys down in a stance and be physical. So, I think it would behoove the Browns to kind of get down and set. And if they're going to come up here with these exotic looks with nickel and dime personnel and small guys coming off the edge, they can't be afraid to run the ball right at the Cardinals and get them out of these looks, because these looks are hard to pass protect. But if you get going downhill with simple gap schemes, you can gash them for big, huge plays. So, and especially with the Browns quarterback situation not being as settled as they like it, they can't be afraid to run the ball here on 3rd down. And if the worst comes to worst, you punt it and let your defense play.